Why do you think cities matter so much for the future of the country?
I think they're an essential part of economic growth in the knowledge economy, really. We depend on networks, we depend on interaction, creative industries, which of course I'm closely involved with. Architecture in London is a major global growth area because you have so many firms close together. You have engineers, project managers, architects, interior designers, landscape architects, some of the leading firms in the world, all working together in clusters in London, creating a global hub. And this is something that actually generates within itself higher quality, better work, and something that we can export and drive for the economic growth of the city. Really, we've got to look at denser cities. Denser cities are more sustainable than sprawl cities. We need to look at places where through density, we create activity, we have high quality ground level spaces and places. And if you think back to cities where essentially dark and satanic in the Victorian period, we're now in an era where we realise the benefits of cities and what we're creating, ground planes which actually are much more amenable, have the what people call vibrant environment of cafes and so on, but also we are changing from cities which were unpleasant places to be ones that are now better. We've changed a lot of the elements within a city. I think we've still got to get rid of the car out of the city centre, and that is happening bit by bit. Cities are the sort of vital bits of most countries in the West now. And I actually cycled across America last year, calling in on a whole series of American cities and seeing what they were doing to change their environments. And to a certain extent, those places that had strong political leadership were the ones that were really winning in the current economic situation. Places like Pittsburgh, which used to be a rundown steel city, fantastic change through strong mayoral leadership, and that was repeated in a number of cities we went through. And I looked to what those sorts of metropolitan areas are doing, and I think that if more cities in Britain had the sort of ability to drive that locally in the same way that the American cities do, I think we'd see a lot of benefit. The mayor requires better funding mechanisms to be able to spend money created by Londoners on London, and it's essential that the next government looks at that as a real issue, because there are all sorts of elements about the way we deliver change in London. Infrastructure, probably one of the key ones. If you think that we're building Crossrail now, and that will be open by 2018, but it's thought that because of growth, that will be full up by 2030. Now, traditionally, it's taken us nearly 30 years to create a new piece of infrastructure like that, so we're way behind in terms of determining how we go ahead with Crossrail 2, HS2, all those things are really, the whole decision-making process, the funding process is far too slow, and the mayor needs to be able to find the funding for those sorts of things much more quickly, much more easily, without relying on government as much as he does. As far as London is concerned, I think housing is the biggest issue, and I think we need a government which is going to invest directly in house building rather than expect it to come out through the private sector.
Fantastic. Peter Moe, thank you very much.
Pleasure.